Game of Thrones ended in the most disappointing way possible. The first 5 seasons were fantastic, then things started going downhill, and now the main series is over, but we're getting the first of these spin-off series releasing in just a few weeks. Even though Game of Thrones is still very popular, I feel like House of the Dragon hasn't been that hyped up. It releases in less than a month, and we've gotten a few set photos, and then 2 teaser trailers. We haven't even gotten the main trailer, but we're finally starting to see interviews for the show release, and of course, one of the showrunners decided to admit they specifically race swapped a whole established house because they didn't want to put any more white people on screen. I have a bunch of different things to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month, or support the channel via YouTube memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So this is a Bounding Into Comics article on the topic. It says showrunner for Game of Thrones spin-off House of the Dragon says House Valyrian race swap to avoid putting another bunch of white people on screen. This isn't the first time that we've heard something like this. Showrunners, producers, directors come out and openly admit that they race swapped characters and houses and just groups of people in shows to promote diversity, and so that they can go, we're so diverse and inclusive, and we just wanted to represent specific people on screen. Now, if this was a brand new franchise, a lot of people really wouldn't care. They'd say, go for it, it's your new franchise, do what you want in it. This is an established house in an established franchise, so of course people are pretty upset at this. According to Ryan Condal, one of the 2 showrunners for the soon-to-premiere Game of Thrones spin-off series, House of the Dragon, the decision to race swap the members of the house was done in order to avoid featuring another bunch of white people on the screen. Making their first proper appearance in the second novel in George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire series, A Clash of Kings, House Valyrian of Driftmark are said to be one of the oldest of the Targaryen allies, finding themselves united in their dealings in Westeros by their shared Valyrian ancestry. Given the shared heritage in Martin's original novels, the members of House Valyrian are described as physically resembling their dragon rider counterparts and are said to traditionally bear pale skin, golden silk-like hair, and purple eyes so striking that as seen in A Feast for Crows, even Cersei finds herself captivated by their depth. However, with their casting of multiple individuals as the various members of the house in the spin-off series, the showrunners have inverted the family's appearance, replete with a swap of their lineage's hair color from gold to silver to depict them instead as a wealthy clan of black nobles. The sole exception to the swap appears to be Rhaenys Valyrian, who will be portrayed by the actress Eve Best. However, her depiction of the dragon rider appears to lack her book counterpart's raven-colored hair, which eventually finds itself merely streaked with white rather than fully covered over. Now, this was the statement they decided to make on it. They said, it was very important for Miguel and I to create a show that was not another bunch of white people on the screen. We wanted to find a way to put diversity in the show, but we didn't want to do it in a way that felt like it was an afterthought or worse, tokenism. Now, of course, to Hollywood, this is fine. Imagine if a director or a showrunner came out and swapped the word white with black here. There would be so much outrage. People would be boycotting the show over it, and it's disgusting to see these people openly admit, hey, we didn't want more white people for this specific house, all because of their skin color. I have no problems with there being all sorts of people in entertainment, whether you're black or white, whatever your religion or political beliefs might be, but this attitude deserves to be called out because it's racist. Yes, they're the showrunners, but they're not the creators of of this material, and they shouldn't be allowed to make these changes simply because we felt it was more progressive with the times, that modern audiences would like this more because it's not their material to change. Feel free to go and make your own fantasy series and put whoever you want in it, but these people aren't good enough. They're not creative enough, so they take things like this and twist around material because they feel like it. It's not like there's even a new house in this show, okay? It's not like there's a new house and they happen to be people of color. Even that would be more acceptable because it's not like there weren't people of color at all in Game of Thrones. It's just that the main houses that we know, like House Valyrian, like the Targaryens, just were not those types of people. So you should be casting to their book descriptions. It's as simple as that. The whole point of this house is that they're the spitting images of Targaryens. Why change the lore and the story besides marketing? Oh, look at us, we can do diversity too. I mean, out of all of the houses they chose the ones that are pale-skinned with purple eyes and golden hair. Not that I support race swaps if I do or don't like a certain house, but still, they decided to do this just so they could go put these people on the promo material so that hopefully different types of people will be able to see our abilities, that, you know, we're not just creating another fantasy series with only white people. Now, they actually took this idea from Martin himself, who in 2013 talked about representation in Game of Thrones in general, and he ended up saying, in recent years it has occurred to me from time to time that it might have been an interesting twist if instead I had made the Dragon Lords of Valyria and therefore the Targaryens black. But he ends up saying, it's all moot now. The idea came to me about 20 years too late. So first of all, this isn't even their own new idea, okay? Because Martin briefly touched on representation all those years ago, talking about how, you know, maybe he should have done this, maybe he should have done that, just talking about potential things that he could have done, but he ends up admitting, well, it's 20 years too late. I've already written my books. I've already established these characters. But of course, these showrunners decided to say, you know what? We're going to do it anyway. Even if it doesn't fit with the source material, even if it doesn't match with the books, we're going to change these characters around anyway. And of course, a lot of people are very mad at this, rightfully so, because they're disrespecting this work, okay? People that just simply want to disrespect work should not be allowed to touch these types of projects. Again, if you want to go and create your own fantasy series, you can do whatever the hell you want in it. Maybe it'll be good, maybe I'll watch it, maybe I'll support it, but don't take already established franchises, established houses, and change them around because you feel like it. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it and found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.